Could you accept this ID? Forget the blacked out marks. Is the reason you cannot accept this ID is that you can see over the picture it's creased, tattered, or torn? No, because the ID had been tampered with in some way. Some of you may point out the fact that it is punched. This ID is punched because it's expired. If the ID is punched but not expired, you may accept it for the sale/service of alcohol as long as the punch is not through the photo, date of birth, and signature. IDs can be punched for various reasons. It's up to each establishment to accept a punched ID or not. The most common form of a fake ID is a borrowed or stolen ID. That used to be considered a misdemeanor when a minor was caught with someone else's ID. Now, it is considered to be identity theft. It is a Class C felony. The second most common form of a fake ID is a manufactured ID. And the third most common is the altered ID. On your list of acceptable IDs, the passport could be one of the easiest forms of ID to alter. A passport is valid for 10 years. People change in 10 years. For example, a person gets a passport when they're 17 years old. Now they are 22 years old. The person will have changed. Passports have changed. The old style had the lamination over the picture, and you can feel where the picture had been placed. This is the same passport that was put on a scanner, and the documentation changed. Note, it reads, "Any age I want to be." The new one has the picture scanned in and laminated with a hologram over the lamination. When someone uses a passport for ID, simply ask them for a second piece of ID. In fact, anytime you have questions on an ID, the first thing you should ask for is a second piece of ID. That would be anything with their name on it. You would prefer something with their name and photo on it, such as a student ID card, an employee ID card, bank card, etc. One thing that should draw a red flag is if when you request a second piece of ID and the guest immediately responds with an, "I don't have one." Most people have more than one thing in their wallet with their name on it. There should not be a hesitation before they respond. Also, you can ask the passport holder, if they are from a foreign country, to speak some of the language. Now let's discuss the military IDs. Anyone who is in the military is very proud of that fact, and they should be. There's a good chance that they will show you their military ID. There are a couple of different styles. This style of military ID comes in different colors. You will see a lot of pink ones, and tan ones as well as a blue one and a gray one. The problem with this ID is that the photo can be hard to see, and this ID gets handed off to younger siblings, friends, and whatnot all the time. The information can be photocopied and then applied to the ID, or a hot iron can be pressed onto the ID. It will pop open so that the new information can be placed in, or the back seam can be cut with a razor blade and the new information placed into the ID. The ID will then be resealed. A telling feature on this ID is this. This ID has been laminated over the top, which gives it one smooth edge and one sharp edge. Run your fingers over both edges. You can also ask the ID holder this question: what's your last four? Everything and anything somebody does who is associated with the military is what their last four. If you ask them what the last four is and they look at you with a "huh?", there's a good chance they're not in the military. This military ID is a credit card style. It is fairly thick. It has a color photograph. Most will have their armed force insignia, but some do not. It has a smart chip, but it does not have a physical signature. Instead, the signature has been encrypted on the chip, so it is on the ID. When you look at the back of the ID, it has a ghost photo with their information typed around the photo. This has a tendency to rub off, or it can get erased off. They can then change the birth date using stencils. Take your time when checking ID. You will see displayed the driver's license and identification card issued in Washington State. There are two styles, a horizontal and a vertical. If the ID is horizontal, that means it was issued to them when they were 21 years of age or older. If it is in a vertical format, it was issued when the person was under 21 or 18. However, they may have turned 21 since then, so do not automatically disqualify them. When you get your ID, whether it's for the first time or if it was for a renewal, you don't get it immediately. It comes in the mail to you. Until then, you'll be issued a paper temporary permit. The temporary license is an acceptable form of ID. However, when accepting a temporary license, we encourage you to ask for their old expired driver's license. Temporary ID is only good for 45 days, and once it expired, it is unacceptable. Be sure to look at the expiration date.
Could I get a Walker Black on the rocks?
Oh, drinking good. I see your ID.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Ah, the new one. Got your old one with you?
No, I lost it, so I got a paper one. I had to go to DMV today. Lost my whole wallet.
That sucks. What happened? Somebody steal it or you just lose it?
Just lost my wallet. Clumsy.
That
Yeah.
sucks. You got a credit card or something, man?
Just cash only, man. I lost my wallet.
You know, I'm not feeling comfortable just taking the paper one by itself, and I'm going to ask you if you could sit in the dining room. I mean, got great food specials in there. I can even give you happy hour prices in there if you'd like to, but I just can't let you sit in the lounge tonight until you get another ID.
There's nothing you can do for me?
I really can't.
All right. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Remember, tell the waitress that you get the happy hour prices.
Thanks.
Thanks, dude.